everyone, this is Nadina again. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk about TRON, the coin and the blockchain that powers it, and whether it might be a good investment that you want to hold in your portfolio. But before I share my thoughts, please give me a like for my video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to my channel to hear more content like this. So let's get into it. What is TRON? So TRON is a coin that's currently ranked at number 15 on CoinMarketCap, so it's a pretty popular coin, and it's powered by its own blockchain. When we go to their webpage and we read that little blurb about TRON's history, we see that it was founded by Justin Sun. He founded the TRON Foundation in 2017. Then in 2018, they acquired BitTorrent, which is pretty huge. They've implemented functionalities for BitTorrent since then. They have a BitTorrent file system, a decentralized file system. They have the BitTorrent token as well. And they've become a pretty popular cryptocurrency. So as they state here, they have now over 113 million users on the blockchain and upwards of 3.9 billion transactions. That's quite significant. And they've also, since April 2021, they host the largest circulating supply of stable coins as well. So they've kind of outrun Ethereum in terms of stable coins, which is, yeah, pretty impressive. And since December 2021, the TRON Foundation actually transitioned into a decentralized automated organization, a so-called DAO, which means that it's not one entity that makes decisions about the project. It's actually the users that can cast votes about those decisions. So it has a little bit more of a decentralized flavor than other cryptocurrencies, such as Ethereum, for example. So when we want to know a little bit more about the blockchain itself, there is actually quite a detailed white paper that you can download. When you look over the content here, you have terminology even very detailed, written out. And what I would like to talk about here, not about all these different details, but I want to just highlight a few. So when you go to architecture, you actually see that TRON is very similar to Ethereum. And the reason is it's actually a fork from Ethereum J, which is a Java implemented Ethereum blockchain. I think, yeah, 2017, that was the state current at that time of Ethereum. It has also these 3 layers of like storage, core, and applications. So it allows smart contract development. That means that you can run decentralized applications on the blockchain. And it uses this Google protocol, so you can interact with it in many different programming languages. But it also uses Solidity for smart contract development, so that that's the same as for Ethereum. So that's very convenient if you're an Ethereum developer, which is really the most smart contracts are written in Solidity for Ethereum. So if you want to write some application for TRON, it's very easy to transition. So I'm going to skip a few things here, not just highlighting. Here they have also TRON virtual machine, exactly like Ethereum, that has the Ethereum virtual machine as well, that kind of allows this interaction between decentralized applications and the blockchain. And they use a delegated proof of stake consensus algorithm. This is a little bit different from Ethereum that just transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake. Delegated proof of stake is considered a little bit more decentralized than the proof of stake because it tries to work against the problem of having holders that hold a lot of tokens. They have a lot, or validators that have huge holdings. They have a lot of power for the reaching consensus. And the delegated proof of stake helps a little bit counteracting that. I'm going into the details of that in a little bit. So yeah, when you go to the governance, I think that should come down here. It's a governance chapter. They have the smart contracts here, tokens. Yeah, so just briefly to the tokens, they use the TRC20 token standard, which is similar or almost identical to ERC20, which is the token standard for the Ethereum tokens, which people have come up with to allow a very standardized way of how smart contracts like work. So it's much easier to develop decentralized applications because they really know what the smart contracts, they know the smart contract functionality that needs to be provided, and they can count on that. So there is less issues with bugs and so on. So they've adopted the TRC20 standard. They turned it into the TRC20 token. Obviously, the transaction fees are all in TRON and not in Ethereum. So they updated that, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, when we come to governance, this is quite different from Ethereum, which is the most popular blockchain. So they're using this delegated proof of stake, which means that if you hold any TRON, you can delegate those to validators of the blockchain. What that means is that you give them essentially a vote by providing your tokens. So as you can read here, every account in the TRON network can apply and have the opportunity to become a super representative. They know that as SR. Everyone can vote for SR candidates by delegating. The top 27 candidates with the most votes will become SRs with the right and obligation to generate blocks. The votes are counted every 6 hours and the SRs will change accordingly. So every 6 hours, they basically look at how many votes that does each SR have, and then they pick the top 27 and they are allowed to generate a block. They're also obligated to generate a block. So the advantage of this type of consensus algorithm is, so I as a user, I can delegate my TRON and I can pick freely from the different representatives, which means if someone really behaves kind of shady, maybe they don't pay out the rewards to you at a regular basis, or they're always a little bit late paying them out. And so you can just switch and pick another one. And so every 6 hours, the network evaluates which ones are the top 27 and they are allowed to generate a block. And that way, it's a little bit more decentralized, so it's more on a voting basis and not just the actual holdings themselves of staking pools or validators. So that's kind of nice that they've made this additional step towards decentralization. But to become a super representative, you need to hold essentially 10,000 TRON, which is around, I think, $600 right now. So it's not huge compared to Ethereum validator, who needs like 32 Ethereum, which is around, I think, $40,000 or something. So it's a huge difference here. So yeah, and also they can actually, so there is governance now in terms of the decentralized automated organizations as well. So that not only can users count or representatives can also cast a vote about different parameters on the blockchain as well. You see this, I think it's down here. Yeah, the committee. So the committee consists of these 27 elected super representatives, and they can make decisions. They can propose a change of the network parameters, and they can approve it or decline it. So also here you have this decentralization of how the network is run, which is pretty nice. Yeah, also in terms of fee, it's actually fairly low. It's a fraction of a TRON, so it's very cheap to transact. The blockchain is faster than Ethereum. one block generation requires 3 seconds. It's comparable to the Binance Smart Chain. For Ethereum, it takes about 10 to 20 seconds, and Bitcoin takes up to 20 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah. So it's a pretty fast blockchain and fairly cheap to develop. So these are all very promising parameters that you might want to consider whether you want to invest in it or not. So just briefly circle back to the delegation. So you can do that actually on your ledger. I personally haven't tried it with Tron, but I've done it with Tezos, and it's very easy. You deposit your Tron, like me, I deposited my Tezos onto the ledger, and then you can select that you want to delegate, and then you can select one of the different validators, and assume is the same for Tron. If I am going to do that, I'm happy to give an update how to actually accomplish that. So yeah, when you do that, then so you can see here under stakingrewards.com, you can see how much you actually might make if you delegate your Tron. So vote a super representative, which is delegating. You can make 1.57% yearly of your holdings. This is adjusted reward given the inflation of the network supply. Tron is inflationary as it pays out those rewards. So it's 1.57 if you're delegating your Tron, and if you run actually a super representative node, you can get up to 2 to 3%. So that's obviously subject to change depending on how busy the network is and how many validators and so on. But yeah, these are the numbers at this time. So when we briefly look at the coin itself, so this is the chart on CoinMarketCap, and as I mentioned earlier, the market cap is around 5.5 billion. It has a trading volume around 380 million, so it's pretty high. So ranked at number 15 right now. Very popular coin. And what I like about this chart is you don't have huge peaks and then it just goes down and flattens out at a very, very low price. So it actually has obviously this volatility that you're used to with cryptocurrencies, but it also seems to have kind of a trend upward, not huge peaks and very long lows. And surprisingly, in the last few months, I mean, most cryptocurrencies saw horrible losses. But Tron actually just, yeah, from 7 cents in August, it went down to like 6 cents right now. So it's not a huge loss if you think, and it's only like a third or even a bit more of the all-time high. So it's not as volatile as you might expect from a cryptocurrency. And the reason for this might actually be the proportion of staking that occurs on Tron. You can see that when you go to DeFi Llama and check out the total value locked. So Ethereum obviously has a huge amount that is staked right now, and it's the most popular blockchain, so no surprise there. But Tron is actually second, right behind Ethereum. So, and when you compare this, it's 5.38 billion. So that's a huge amount, a huge percentage of the Tron that is circulating is actually staked. So here, CoinMarketCap, just to show you that. So 5.5 billion is the market cap, so that's how much is invested. And 5.38 billion of that is staked. So that tells me, or that's how I interpret it, is that people that invest into Tron, they seem to invest in it long term. They seem to want to earn rewards and stake it, participate possibly in the governance that is available on Tron. And there seems also to be quite a quite a lot of confidence and trust in the blockchain, because there are other blockchains that actually have very little staked compared to what the market cap is. But with Tron, we see that it's a huge percentage of the market cap. So people trust this blockchain, they're in for the long term. And for me, I interpret this as a good investment, and also it gives me confidence that this blockchain will be there for a long time, and that it has a lot of potential. And it looks like it's one of those blockchains that have a little bit of a twist to it. They do like really make an effort to decentralize it in every aspect, the organization of the project, the consensus algorithm, and then obviously just the blockchain, the cryptocurrency. But it's like across the board, they're really trying to push decentralization, and that's, I think, a really good thing. And it might also protect a little bit in the future against any lawsuits, because we've seen recently that the Securities Exchange Commission really targets these foundations and organizations that run the different blockchains, like the Ethereum Foundation. And the problem is that if a blockchain is run by you so-called a centralized entity, it is a very easy target for the SEC, the Security Exchange Committee. And if you have a decentralized organization that runs the blockchain, that is much more difficult to be sued for it, because they actually would have to sue the organization that consists of the users, which are the people that the SEC wants to protect. So making a case for suing Tron might be quite tricky. So that might be an additional protection that this type of organization might provide. And so, yeah, we will see in the future how that plays out. But I feel like there is a lot to Tron. I like there's decentralized kind of way of how they're running the blockchain. Here they also have regular hackathons, so-called hackathons, which are competitions for people to submit different decentralized applications that are run on Tron. So that incentivizes development, it makes the blockchain more popular. And right now they're running season 3, which just started a week ago, and it will go for another 49 days until November 14. So if you're a developer, you should really jump into that, because I think they're paying out prices up to 1.2 million, I think, which is pretty significant. So I like how they run it. I like the decentralized idea behind Tron, and for myself, I think I will invest into some Tron. I think it has a future. You should make up your mind yourself whether you want to do it. Do your own research about it, whether that's a good idea or not. I'm not giving financial advice here. It's just my own opinion. So yeah, that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Please give me a like for this video. Also comment on any feedback you might have. Have any thoughts on investment like this? Do you agree with investing into it? Or any feedback on the video as well is very appreciated. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and see you soon.